Some moments in aviation go from normal to terrifying in a heartbeat. In this video, you'll see real plane crash footage and serious aviation incidents caught on camera from phones, dash cams, and security cameras from all over the world. These are the kinds of clips people search for, but rarely see in one place. Raw, sudden, and unforgettable. Viewer discretion is advised, and if you decide to watch, stay to the end, because the last moments happen fast. On February 26, 2026, a twin-engine Diamond DA-42 made a safe emergency gear-up landing at Pensacola International Airport in Pensacola, Florida. Airport officials said the crew was dealing with a landing gear malfunction during descent, so they brought it in with the gear retracted. Both pilots were reported safe and went for precautionary medical evaluation.
Job.
On September 10, 2022, a UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter crashed inside the campus of Afghanistan's National Defense University in Kabul during a Taliban training flight. The Taliban Defense Ministry said the helicopter went down because of a technical problem, killing 3 people and injuring 5 others. On February 11, 2022, a Cessna 205 on an IFR flight from Crest Air Park near Seattle, Washington, to Yuba County Airport near Marysville, California, suffered a sudden, catastrophic engine failure at about 9,000 feet, with strong vibration followed by the propellers stopping. The pilot declared an emergency and glided to a safe landing at Hillsboro Airport in Hillsboro, Oregon, with no reported injuries. The immediate cause of the emergency was a total loss of engine power from an internal mechanical failure. Sources reported this was captured on the pilot's GoPro footage and later covered by local and aviation media, including Fox 12 Oregon and Global Air.
Tower, do you want me to try to make Alpha 5 to get out of your way here?
Sure, so if you can, that's fine. If not, no problem. We can work around you. Just do whatever you can. Nice landing.
All right, thank you very much. I'm glad you guys were right here. Any preference left or right here? I'll just roll as far as I can for you. You want me to go straight in?
Sure, so Zulu, you can go straight in.
On December 3, 2018, a small Cessna crashed into a home in the Rincon Real neighborhood of Culiacán, Sinaloa, Mexico, killing all 4 people on board and injuring people on the ground. Reports said the aircraft was flying low, struck power lines or cables, and then slammed into the house.
Su puta madre.
Ay, Dios mío, la avioneta se cayó.
¡Y cayó! Oye, papá.
Sí, sí, sí.
¡Y cayó el avión!
On February 28, 2026, in North Gregg County near Longview, Texas, a hot air balloon struck and became tangled on a communications tower near State Highway 300 and Farm to Market Road 1844. 2 people were left stranded more than 900 feet up until Longview area firefighters carried out a high-angle rescue and brought them down safely later that day, with both taken to a hospital as a precaution. The cause of the incident was the balloon's collision with the communications tower, which pinned the basket and passengers near the top. On October 28, 2025, at Boca Raton Airport in Boca Raton, Florida, an experimental Acrotech Aviation Giles G202 struck a Cessna 172R while taxiing near the run-up area, leaving both airplanes substantially damaged, but no one injured. The NTSB said the cause was the Giles pilot's inadequate visual lookout, which led to the ground collision. On October 23, 2012, a Cessna 182 suffered a sudden partial loss of engine power shortly after takeoff near Brooks County Airport in Falfurrias, Texas. The pilot committed to an off-airport landing straight ahead and put the airplane down in a field with no reported injuries. The direct cause of the crash landing was the unexpected loss of engine power, and the underlying mechanical reason was not publicly confirmed in the sources available.
Okay, I gotta put this down.
On September 11, 2020, a streak shadow microlight suffered an engine failure just after takeoff from Old Park Farm in South Wales, United Kingdom, forcing an immediate emergency landing straight ahead. The aircraft was fitted with a Rotax 582 engine with about 20 hours since installation, and the specific technical cause of the power loss was still under investigation at the time of posting. Footage credit: Stuart Smith, channel @Malpass29.
Making a habit.
Well, it's been a long time since September 2020 when my engine first failed on me. But I'd just like to go through and thank everybody who made all the comments. It has been a great help, and just go through and explain what actually had happened on that day. So let me just show you the vent tubes on the tanks. You've got, let me see, the vent tube from the top of the slipper tank, and then you've got this vent tube from the main tank. They go up So T-pieces in here.
On April 18, 2016, a Cessna 172C crashed shortly after takeoff from Sophie's Choice, a private airstrip in Westmoreland, New York, striking trees and terrain and being destroyed by a post-crash fire. The pilot and one passenger were fatally injured, and another passenger had minor injuries. The NTSB determined the crash was caused by the pilot's improper control inputs during the takeoff roll and failure to achieve and maintain sufficient airspeed, which led to an aerodynamic stall. On July 26, 2022, a Cessna 150M ditched in Puget Sound just off Alki Beach in West Seattle, Washington, after the pilot reported an oil pressure problem and an engine failure that left him unable to keep flying. The pilot was the only person on board and was not injured. On May 21, 2017, near Talkeetna Airport in Talkeetna, Alaska, an experimental backcountry Super Cub-type airplane crashed during a slow flight competition when a wing stalled just about 30 feet above the ground and the pilot had no altitude to recover. The NTSB said the cause was the pilot failing to maintain proper airspeed and exceeding the airplane's critical angle of attack, which led to an aerodynamic stall. The pilot was not injured. On January 18, 2023, a Cessna 414 crashed near Modesto City County Airport Harry Sham Field in Modesto, California, after the pilot turned back toward the airport to land and then lost control on the approach. The pilot was fatally injured. The NTSB said the crash was caused by the pilot exceeding the airplane's critical angle of attack and not maintaining airspeed during the turn to final, which led to an aerodynamic stall with distraction from a non-critical radio anomaly listed as a contributing factor. On November 24, 2019, a Mi-8 made a hard emergency landing near the village of Novi Port in Russia's Yamalo-Nenets region, shortly after takeoff on a flight from the Novoportovskoye field area toward Novi Urengoy. No one was reported injured, and Russian media said there were 22 passengers and 3 crew on board. The incident was attributed to a critical technical malfunction, described by officials and reporting as a tail rotor failure at very low altitude during the initial climb. On August 3, 2018, during a training flight in the Mount Elbrus area of Kabardino Balkaria, Russia, a Mi-171A2 made a hard landing and rolled onto its side. Reports said nobody on board was injured, and the crew was evacuated by another helicopter to Nalchik. The incident was attributed to pilot error during the landing. On July 18, 2022, a Rosgvardia Mi-8 helicopter made a hard landing in a field near the Gorky Land Cottage settlement in the Verevskoye rural settlement, Gatchinsky district, Leningrad Oblast, near Gatchina. Officials reported 3 people were on board, and there were no fatalities, with the crew taken for medical checks. Early reporting attributed the incident to strong wind gusts that spun the helicopter at low altitude, leading to a loss of control and the hard landing.
Разбился.
On November 24, 2024, a Sukhoi Superjet 100, operated by Azimuth Airlines, arriving from Sochi, caught fire just after landing on the runway at Antalya Airport in Antalya, Turkey, and everyone on board was evacuated with no reported injuries. Officials and aviation reporting said the fire followed a hard landing in gusty conditions, with the left engine area striking the runway and then igniting.
Кошмар! Кошмар! Значит, это не наша смерть.
Да вот они слизли. Куда для вас, блядь?
Отец!
Что?
У меня еще такого никогда в жизни не было. Боже!
Я же çok kötü, eyvah. Eyvahlar olsun. Ha? Ya kuyruğu çözemiyorum şu an ama çok kötü durumda.
On August 23, 2023, an experimental amateur-built Casset crashed near South Valley Regional Airport in West Jordan, Utah, during a Part 91 test flight, and the pilot was killed. The NTSB found the cause was a loss of control during the initial climb for reasons that could not be determined. On September 2, 2023, near Toms River, New Jersey, a Cirrus SR-20 crashed just after takeoff from Ocean County Airport during a student pilot's solo night pattern work, and the pilot was killed. The NTSB said the crash was caused by the pilot's failure to maintain a positive climb rate after takeoff due to spatial disorientation, specifically a somatogravic illusion, which led to impact with trees and terrain.